The book of Revelation, chapter 16 and 17. They shall hunger no more, neither shall they thirst no more. Preach, preacher, for God shall light the way, every tear from the eye. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for a revolution up in here on Past the Ox. Wait a minute. Hit that theme music, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
Yeah, highlight.
Damn, Melissa.
Don't forget the real though. Yeah, yeah. I bet you won't turn me up. What's that you bumping? It ain't vibing hard enough. Hey, no. Check my playlist, guaranteed you ain't hit top. From the indies to the mainstream, bringing other stuff. Music talks from Dwayne and Janean. Run it up. Run it. Huh. Pass that ox. Pass that ox. Hey. Bobbing through your back on the scene. Dwayne and Janean, I'm bringing the facts. They know what I mean. Music comparisons, yeah, it's embarrassing. Up in the Ford, I feel like I'm Harrison. Back on the fast track. Mighty and morphing, my name's Zach. Feel like a gentleman, top of my class. The legend, I'm feeling like 3 stacks. Hey, word to Aaliyah, taking it back and forth. I'm feeling so wonderful.
Ladies and gentle gents, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? As you can tell by the intro of this here thing. Boy, welcome to an edition of Past the Ox. You already know we got a loaded show ahead for y'all on today, including something that's already been the topic of discussion amongst the people, the party people, the revolutionary, the saints, the name, I mean, you name it however you want to play it, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, we have a hell of a show for you on today, and I say that term very loosely, people. You know what I'm saying? Therefore, y'all probably say he's a Christian rapper. He just, yeah, that's the whole point. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. It's your boy, Dwayne, your favorite host and neighborhood mediator. You already know we in the building. Joined by my favorite panel of peoples. First introducing my also lovely tag team co-host of a partner in the Queen of Clatchet, Miss Bougie Thuggin herself. Hey, Janine, what's happening?
Woo, woo, woo. Hey, guys.
Hey. And you already know we can't forget, you know, this episode is so action-packed that we had to introduce and bring another guy that y'all already know. You know, he tried to stay out the spotlight, but we couldn't help it. We had to bring him in for this one because we already know he got a lot to say on this too. So, ladies and gentlemen, y'all already know the hardest working band in show business. Y'all already know my boy, the one, the only Clyde, baby. That's right, 1, 2, Mr. Derrick Myers. What's up, sir?
What's going on? What's going on, guys?
Not much, man. Not much. You know, I mean, sheesh. Whoa. What a week. I'll sure say that.
It's been a hell of a week.
Hasn't it? Yes. That's a word that's going to be used a lot on today, ladies and gentlemen. But without further ado, y'all already know how we do this thing, man. Real quick, we're going to kick this thing off real nice and smooth because y'all know how we kick things off. Peoples, what's been in your ears? So, ladies first, as you know.
Metaphorical head not cool. I've been listening to a lot of R&B still. That's the vibe. I haven't been introduced, but I'm listening to him more. Loner, Lonr. Have you ever heard of this artist?
Heard of him? Yeah, he sounds familiar.
No, I haven't.
Well, yeah, great guy, great voice. I've been listening to him. I've been listening to Music Soul Child. Listening to a lot of Summer Walker. That's been my vibe this week.
Love it. Okay. Brother Derrick, sir, how about you, man?
I actually listen to Music Soul Child as well. I think it's because that 85 South show episode a couple weeks ago. I kind of been listening to him since that episode. But Music Soul Child, I've listened to some reggae, and Casey and JoJo.
Ooh.
Oh
Yeah.
Ooh. Good throwing back. Okay.
Yeah.
We're going way back.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So that's pretty much. I mean, well, yeah, you know, J. Cole as well, but I'm not gonna count him in right now.
I feel. Well, you know, your boy has actually been vibing. I took myself back in the year of what was that? 2004, 5, 6, and possibly 7. I found myself just in that whole dance era of hip hop, the crank dats and
Oh man.
the era of the crank dats had me just randomly
Oh
going there, and the
man.
chicken noodle soups, you know what I mean, and all of those unique fun little dance songs from back
Yeah.
then that just had us really, super hype. And I know you got dance songs of today, but they just don't seem to do it the way they did it back then. You know what I mean? I don't know. Something about that era of dance wave, the long tees, the white
Yeah.
tees, and the baggy, that whole like era
Long
of stuff.
long
So
shorts.
yeah, I don't know. It was just a very interesting era
Niggas
of
was walking around
style and
wearing jean and gauchos. That's exactly what y'all was wearing.
come on, man. Like it was a very interesting time that was. So listening back to
Yeah.
that stuff kind of had me just really, and least be known, ironically, songs like Crank That Batman and Crank That Yank actually catapulted, well, of course, who we kidding? Crank That Soldier Boy kind of set the path to then all these other Crank That's
Come
that
on,
just went
Draco.
viral. The
Yeah.
original viral sensations of what made dance songs what they are today. Before there was a TikTok, before there was a Vine, before there was YouTube was actually there. So yeah, YouTube was still there, but it wasn't what it is now. So therefore,
Right.
YouTube was kind of hitting the scene for the first time, and this is where we started seeing stuff go viral. Next thing you know, everybody and their mama was snapping,
Yeah.
dancing, doing their own incarnation of whatever they saw a group doing and killing in a viral video. So, found myself in that little era, and still found myself in the mid 2000s because I found myself listening to a lot of mid 2000 music. However, I also took a trip to the 2010s, baby, a very era that is going to get discussed on later this evening of this here show, which is partial into what is going to be such an impactful episode. But that about does it for what's been in our ears on this
I have a
week's.
question. What was your favorite crank that dance?
My favorite Crank That dance, honestly, was the Batman because that was the only one that I really could do.
I like to whoop Rico.
Rico. I couldn't get into that one. I never liked the
Just
beat
because
of
like
it,
I
right?
don't fight in like real life, so like
Yeah.
yeah, so it's fine.
It's funny though, because when you found out the backstory of that one, it was like, oh, no wonder that one went famous. Okay, but hey,
Black people will make a joke or a dance off of anything.
Oh yeah.
ain't this the truth, people? Ain't
Yeah,
this
for
the
sure.
truth? You gotta love it. You gotta love it. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's what's been in our ears throughout the week. So y'all already know, man, we got a playlist coming for y'all on stuff like this. We got a playlist coming for you on stuff like fans. You know what I mean? We got a lot of playlists coming in discussion. So make sure y'all get ready to follow everything on the Spotify side of things because we got a lot of dope playlists coming for y'all based off what's been in our ears and a lot of these battles that you've been seeing. But nonetheless, let's go on to the nitty gritty. And I'm going to pass this over to my co host because you already know what's been going on in entertainment news on this week, cuzzo.
Can we talk about how the plies jumped out of Kirk Franklin this week? Because can we talk about it? Okay, so I didn't hear the actual audio. Did y'all hear the audio?
you
I just
didn't?
read. Oh no, I didn't
Oh.
hear the audio.
Oh, I heard
Oh,
it.
it was intense.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
it was-
intense.
Oh, is it intense?
Oh,
Oh.
Okay.
yes.
So this is how I feel, just based off of the comments.
Oh, boy. She gonna make me
Firstly-
play this thing.
No, please play it. Yes, I think we should play it for the people.
Should we play
Yes,
it for the
fine.
people? Derek's like, we should play it for the people. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I think we should definitely. It's only fair to the people who haven't heard the following audio. It's only fair that we play this for you. And guess what? The beauty of this show is you won't hear it with the expletives in the process because this is a show that allows
Ooh.
things to air like that. So
Really?
as a good Christian.
I know that he's a Christian artist, but he was not very, I heard he was being explicit that day.
Well,
Let me just say this.
everybody has.
I was actually proud.
Oh boy.
You were what?
I was proud.
Yes, okay.
I was
yes.
proud. Yeah, yeah. was like the ability to string those words together. Like it was
Ladies and
very art.
gentlemen,
It was very artistic.
ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, before we even just give you our complete analysis of what we feel about this, allow us to take it to the tape. So, ladies and gentlemen, compliments of YouTube itself, it's already made it to that status. So, yes, go figure, ladies and gentlemen. So, I'd like to thank our special source in the YouTube, and Google
The
for
Bachelor
allowing us to
is
have.
back.
So,
Stream it live
please
on
excuse the ad
ABC
coming.
with
But, ladies and gentlemen, here we go.
Off a piece of paper. Okay, if you think I'm reading this paper, let me say it like this. When your bitch ass starts getting disrespected, you need to get your skinny motherfucking ass back out the goddamn way before I put my foot in your ass. Because I dare you. I dare you. I dare you. I dare you. Shut the fuck up. I'm old.
What's up?
I will punch your neck, nigga. Don't you ever disrespect me.
I did it. He just hung up the phone. I'll break your neck. Is that a threat?
Ladies and gentlemen, saints, congregations, people among the nations, however you feel, ladies and gentlemen, that in full effect was the interesting, also not so, maybe so wise words of Kirk Franklin coming out of his own, mindset. But Derrick, sir. Well, actually, no, Janine, ma'am. Now that you've actually physically heard this, based off the look on your face here, please explain now how you feel on your thoughts after hearing the audio of this.
Maybe this speaks to my toxicness, but like y'all were shocked at that was not that bad. How many times have our parents threatened to break their foot off in our ass because we're being disrespectful and just based? I've seen what a dynamic is between a son and a father when the son thinks that he's too grown to respect his father, right? So obviously, like, you're not playing the whole thing. We don't know how this started. We don't know what caused Kirk to go off like that. Play me the whole thing. I need to know the whole situation. And yeah, I don't know. Like, that wasn't that bad to me. Maybe we're shocked because it's Kirk Franklin, but that goes back to what we've said so many times on this podcast. Stop putting these celebrities on these pedestals as if they aren't human and they don't have emotions and they don't have moments where they gotta get street real quick or get aggressive real quick. Do y'all want to give your feedback on the audio before I go into the apology?
Well, I'm glad you were going to say that.
Many
Derrick,
of you know I have
feel free to, before we play the apology, Derrick, go ahead and give your analysis, sir, and let the people know what you think post, pre-apology.
Yeah, well, I like I said, I thought it was masterful. Like Janine, I didn't feel like it was. I wasn't shocked, honestly. Like, what the thing that I am actually kind of shocked about is two things. One, his preaching voice is his shouting voice, so that matched very well. So it sounded like you were listening to him, live in concert. Two, the lady laughing in the background, like, that's the one thing that no one has actually like really addressed. Like, it was that his wife, like, and why was she laughing as hard as she was? I mean, I was laughing, but that's a different dynamic. But she like my sister was saying that she thinks it was her because the laugh actually matched how the wife looks in the face, which I thought actually it makes a lot of sense. But um, but I actually I'm not shocked. Like the one thing that I will say that I'm kind of disappointed in is that a lot of people act as if they don't get into these situations with family. I I have I have. I'm not. I can't sit here and say that that's never happened in my family. It's not something that's been prevalent, but I've had to go there because someone took
But
me there at
sometimes
some
that's the
point.
only time people will understand. Like I've tried the convoys, I've
Yeah.
tried the therapist. Okay, well you want to take it there, so now we're here.
Now that's the
We're here
level.
now.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but that's what sometimes happens in families. I don't know their situation or their relationship. I actually didn't even realize that he had a son that old. So um I don't know. I don't know. It's sad in that sense that their relationship isn't good, but the breaking the neck thing was hilarious. How he said that. I'm sorry. That just how he
Kind of like the
punched.
Holy Spirit had
How
taken
he
over a little bit.
Yeah, it's like how he punched nigga in there. Just like it just hit. It hit you. That you know. And so it is what it is. God bless
What
him.
do you think, Dwayne?
Okay, so this morning I actually saw the apology first. So before this was even really a thing, my instinct was Kurt is doing an apology video. Something happened. Let me
Hmm.
go find out what the heck happened. Because apparently, to my understanding, this was on a Saturday night. So obviously, didn't see nothing about it, didn't hear nothing about it.
Hmm.
I just happened to be on Twitter scrolling, saw the video from Kurt, said, "What's this?" Looked at it, and instantly, I already, just off of his apology, was already kind of like, whatever this is, I respect you already because that's how you apologize and lay out where it didn't feel forced, didn't feel like something this PR person made him do, didn't feel like something that had to be out there. Like it was sincere. I felt the sincerity from whatever this was. So then I go look it up, come across this. Now I'm thinking there was an actual video of him actually shouting this, only to
Hmm.
find out, okay, and then I'm just hearing audio. So upon hearing the audio part, the curse words were like, okay, we human, things happen. You know what I mean? Again, like you guys, nothing that shocks a person. If this happened to Lecrae next week, I wouldn't be surprised. Like some of the highest figures in gospel and Christian rap or heck in general, whether you're an inspirational person, regardless of if you're thinking, oh, there's no way this person could curse. I mean, it's more so I'm happy and proud to see people actually siding with Kurt from what I've seen in this. Nobody's trying to cancel him. Apparently, there are people out there trying to cancel this man. I don't know why, because of some curse words. When you have people who have done much worse for way many worse reasons and secrets that come to the light,
Hmm.
like an R. Kelly type individual, where secrets are brought to the light, which really aren't that secret either because you kind of knew
Y'all
about it. But when it's really, really brought, you know what I'm saying? Those are the type of things, or Tory Lanez and the way people can cancel this guy, off of obvious reasons. These type of things are where it's like, okay, so it's a toxic relationship with his son. It's one of those things where it's sad, but no family's ever perfect anyway. You show me one and I'll pay you $1 million that I don't have to pay you. But still, show me a family that's perfect and never argues and never has some type of dysfunction. You know, I've seen this with my own father on his side of the family. You know what I'm saying? I mean, these type of things. I saw a freaking fight break out at my grandma's funeral for crying out loud. So these type of things, when brought to the light, it's like, hey, what do you do? What do you say? You know, personally, I'm not even gonna sit there and say I forgive Kurt or anything. It's not for me to say I forgive him. Again, he slipped up. It was in the heat of a moment, heated conversation. It's your son, and I mean, at the end of the day, the son was being disrespectful because it don't matter how old you are. That's still your father, man. At the end of the day, you
Yes.
gotta show respect where respect is due, player. You can't be coming at your dad, and then that's petty because really, in my opinion, it makes him look more bad than it makes Kurt look bad. You really wanted to record that for what? That's your dad. I'm pretty sure he's making mad money that he's probably giving you or taking care of you in some kind of way. And you want to jeopardize that by putting his reputation out there to try to
Clout
ruin it?
chasing, yo.
Makes no sense because at the end of the day, you don't get famous from it and you don't do what your dad does, obviously. So, what was the point of it? So, at the end of the day, all fingers to me point more so at the sun. As they say, you point one finger, three point right back at you. Those three are very much pointing right back at you, Playboy, because at the end of the day, again, the apology video is what I saw first. And just off seeing that, I already knew. Forgive, wipe it away. Hey, man, you slip, you fall, you got back up. Your people still love you. Man's a
I
legend.
feel differently about the video than you do. I feel like the fuck was the point because at the end of the day, that was the whole situation. I agree. The son, I don't like when family members of celebrities do these things where they record the famous person and they post it for like clout because that's exactly what it is. Like, what are you doing this for? And then when Kirk came and apologized, this is a family matter. Like you're not even apologizing to your son for the way that you spoke to him. You're apologizing to the media. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like for what? For what purpose? I didn't like I mean, I guess I get it because he's like, okay, I'm sure y'all felt like I was higher than how I acted, but I don't like when people apologize to the media because we forget so easily anyway. So the fuck was the point of the apology?
Let's Derek, before you give that thought, let's play that apology real quick to emphasize what Janine is, and then we'll come back right
Mm-hmm.
to you off of that. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's the apology video from Kirk himself that was addressed on the situation with the son.
Many of you know I have an older son named Carrion Franklin. In May, he'll be 33. For many years, we have had a toxic relationship with him as a family. We've tried for many years through counseling, through therapy, to try to rectify this private family matter. Recently, my son and I had an argument that he chose to record. I felt extremely disrespected in that conversation and I lost my temper. And I said words that are not appropriate. And I'm sincerely sorry to all of you. I sincerely apologize. I want you to know as a father that during that conversation, I called the family therapist and got that therapist on the phone to try to help. He never played that part of the recording. I'm not perfect. I'm human and I'm going to make mistakes and I'm trying to get it right. Please keep me and my family in your prayers.
All right. So, Derek, and I'm sure Janine will probably capitalize some more after giving a second listen to it. But Derek, go ahead and explain what you were about to get into after hearing about the apology.
Yeah, I can't help but feel like if this was someone, let's say this was an artist that wasn't a Christian artist.
Hey there, problem solvers.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I can't help but feel like this would be, just like kind of like brushing under the rug. I think this is a big issue because this is someone that is a Christian artist, period.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that I understand a little bit as to why he's apologizing, but like Janine said, this is a family issue, man. Like this is one reason why like fame is never something that I ever want, because something like this, if you have a family issue and it gets put out there like that, now you got to talk about it in public. What's private should remain private. That's exactly where I feel like the son definitely messed up, because he came out, I think he made a Instagram post and said something to the effect of like, this has been something that's been going on for 14 years. Like they've had this type of relationship, and uh he just didn't know what else to do in order to get love from his family or something like that. Something that to that effect. But here's my thing. Like I can understand like not um being able to connect with your parents or whatever. I can understand that being an issue. But what do you gain from airing it out? Like it's not like you're going to get a better relationship with your dad by the public hearing this argument. Apparently, TD Jakes was on the call too. Like the thing, it gets more random as it goes. This is exactly why this should not be out there. It's private. It's a private thing. Try to resolve it privately. If you can't resolve it privately, just leave well enough alone. There's no need. This shouldn't be a public thing. The son, like you said, Dwayne, I think he did uh um this did make him look a little, would make him look worse, because this doesn't there's no point in this. This is weird. It's weird. And I feel bad for all parties involved, but airing it out publicly does nothing. You gain nothing.
It's making it worse, if anything.
And now you're having people that, like Janine said, there's no context to this reporting. So now you're having people that have no context. They have only one side of the argument, technically. Now they're putting their thoughts and opinions on your issues. That that doesn't go well. There's nothing you gain out of that. Eh, again, teach his own. It is what it is. But the son kind of, yeah. I hope he enjoys his 15 minutes of fame with this, because there's nothing that's gonna come out of
15
this.
seconds is done. It's over with.
Yeah,
It's done. I think, like Derrick said, it's really the fact that Kirk Franklin is a Christian artist, right? But this is why people like the cussing preacher, even though he's an extreme case of it. But
Eddie
the
Long.
reason why is because yeah, because Christians oftentimes have this like, oh, we are perfect, and like we are holier than art thou. We don't curse, we don't falter, we don't make mistakes. But if you would just come off rip like, hey, yes, I am a Christian artist, but sometimes I can take it there, this type of situation won't be as shocking. Not saying, as a Christian, you're not supposed to try to lead by example. But regardless of what your religion is, we're all human. We all falter. We all have moments.
Yeah.
Totally 100% agree with both of you guys. And I mean, again, now you see why I personally, when I saw that first, personally, I looked at the video more so as like, it felt more sincere because of the fact that it was a professional way of, as you mentioned, Derek, keeping it private by not going into too much detail, but understanding like, look, it was a toxic relationship. We've tried to work this out. We've tried to make this as good as we can. XYZ. I said things I did not want to say. I said it out of anger. I lost my temper. And, literally at the end of the day, asking the true Christians out there, the true praying people out there, hey, keep me in your prayers, because, again, not just off of me losing my temper, but just this relationship in general being, what it is, to where it's come to this, where his son's releasing videos of him just uttering out cuss words and something that sounds like a threat to him, when, again, what are you trying to indicate by saying is that a threat? Do we all not get threatened by our parents at the time for things that we didn't said, like, or
And
did?
why were we being threatened? Because we were out of pocket.
Exactly.
Most of we were out
Exactly.
of pocket.
Exactly. You know, just trying to shed the right the wrong type of light on an individual like Kurt. Not cool, man. Not cool. You know, and that's coming from blood. You know what I mean? So that's you know that's it's pretty hurtful, but at the same time, it's one of those things. I know. I hope that at some point, somehow, eventually, this gets worked out in some kind of way. Again, 14 years is a long time to be battling something like this. So who
Yeah.
knows? But definitely, I'm one of those ones that really hope that this family matter gets resolved in some kind of way. And as you mentioned, Derek, to the individual who was laughing, if that was said wife, possibly, then yeah, let's not do that. I know it
Yeah.
sounds funny when you hear Preacher Kirk, kind of cursing in that way, but based off the family matter, wifey, that ain't the moment to laugh. You know what I'm
But see,
saying?
that's
Like,
not like I'm pretty sure she's heard him cuss before. That's not that can't be the first time she's ever heard him do that. But it's just what he said, and like that whole timing just kind of seemed a little off.
mm,
I don't know. It something wasn't right about it.
I
well,
think what this speaks to too is like people think just because we're family, I'm not supposed to check you when things go left. Just because we're blood does not mean I'm just gonna let you be toxic towards me. I'm not gonna let you talk any type of way to me. Like if that's the energy you're bringing, like I'll cut you off or I'll take it there with you. And Kirk was like, I'll
Do you?
break your neck. Do not play with me.
Yeah. Do you guys have like family members that you just don't mess with?
Me personally, no. Thank
No,
God.
I do.
But
I have blood that I just will never be in the same room again, ever. I don't want to be. There's some stuff that just happens in families that, and that's why like it's throwing me off that a lot of people are, well, maybe not a lot, but there are people that are trying to either cancel Kirk on this or you know have their whole say on it and say that he was wrong in this situation. When you have someone that you're related to that you just don't mess with for whatever reason, that's between you and that family member. If you don't mess with them, cool. But and I'm pretty sure that Kirk was trying to keep this private, like that, as he should. You got someone that just wants to air it out. So yeah, I hope he gets what he can get from this because it ain't like this is a 16-year-old kid. It's a grown man. It's a grown man. Like I that is another part of this whole the narrative I would like for people to stop talking about as if this was like some kid. It's a grown man that he was talking to. And
mhm.
when you're talking to a grown man, you feel another man disrespects you. You've got to put him in check. I can't tell you how many times I've had to put someone in check for feeling like they were coming at me wrong. You know what I'm saying? And you either get past it or you just stop talking to that person. It doesn't. It is what it is. Whatever. I hope they get past this and are able to mend defenses. But when someone takes you to that point, there
It's not
that's
a one-off
very
thing.
hard.
It's
It's not.
probably happened before. It's probably
Yeah.
built up to this point. It's gonna take what's her name? Ayana fix my life. That's
Oh,
what's gonna have to
that's that. Yeah.
mm,
That's
And
what's gonna have to happen.
she's apparently retiring from the show, or like this is gonna be her last season, I think. So
Oh wow.
yeah, so we won't be able to see that one, but maybe she'll do a special.
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. We shall see. But again, thoughts are definitely with Mr. Franklin and that and the Franklin family resolving those private matters. Hopefully, again, we don't see that with anyone else for that matter. But again, it's the social media era, it's the social media age. What can we say? At this
You want to
point, we're
listen
not
to more of
surprised by
Kirk
anything.
though.
Yeah,
I'm listening more to Kirk. I'd say I'm
yeah.
Stomp. Stomp is my favorite song right now.
It hit different,
It
don't it? It
hits
hit
different,
different.
man.
Definitely hits different.
It hits
Really
different.
stomping it
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so Miss Janine, do we have anything else in the entertainment field of things that has significantly happened throughout this week that we need to know about before we move on to our history matter?
That's all I have.
Oh, I think Nas just won his first Grammy.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Hey, congrats.
Yeah.
congratulations
Yeah.
to rapper Nas winning his first Grammy, which is shocking to me.
First, that's crazy.
That's
Shocking to me.
it's weird.
Very shocking. His first. So you got to tell me the Illmatic doesn't have a Grammy? Wow, that's interesting. Okay, but again, hey, just goes to show people grinds are worth a lifetime. No matter how long you've been in the game, it's never too late for you to win that Grammy if you desire to win it. You don't always need it. Drake kind of made that known last year before he got cut off. But hey, it is what it is. So again, congrats to Mr. Nas on winning his first ever Grammy. So let's go ahead and transition into our history portion of this episode, where speaking of Nas, a certain individual who once beefed with Nas apparently at some point during an East Coast West Coast battle. Compliments of the OTS guys on Instagram and, of course, Facebook on the sidelines reports that it has officially been, as of March 14th, it has been the 26th year anniversary of Tupac's album Me Against the World. Me Against the World debuted, of course, as you know, March 14th of 1995. And of course, it featured singles such as So Many Tears, Temptations, and of course, the one song you know you love to play on Mother's Day, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, Dear Mama. So, ladies and gentlemen, I must ask before the panel here, what did you think about this album? Is there anything that stood out about this album? Is there anything that's always going to be memorable to you about this album? Insert head.
I mean, I was gonna say, I mean, I don't know, man. Just it's a classic and it's timeless and it just speaks to the fact that Tupac was more than a rapper. He was a poet and he spoke to things that we're gonna relate to forever and ever and ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, he went to art school, right?
Yeah.
Like, I really wish we got more of Pop. He, I really wish we got more of him because he was on that path of just he. Can you imagine how much bigger he would have been? He just, been able to stay alive. Like I don't know, 20, 24 years. That's 24 years.
25.
25.
Or 26. Sorry, you said
26.
26. Yeah,
26.
it's been 26 years.
Jesus, man.
Wow.
Was it 5? God. Yeah, that's
Says a lot, ladies and
classic,
gentlemen.
man. Yeah.
Definitely so. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know, to our younger audiences out there who may not have known, who don't know their history possibly, or they're doing the research, we just say that this is the one album, and I'm pretty sure there aren't many rappers, if any, to my knowledge, that have released an album while currently incarcerated. This was Tupac's album that was released while he was in prison. Me Against the World made an immediate impact on the charts, debuting at number 1 on the Billboard 200, holding the top spot for 4 consecutive weeks and top R&B/hip hop albums chart. Dear Mama was released as the album's first single and will be the most successful single, topping the Hot Rap Singles chart and peaking number 9 on the Billboard Hot 100. While Tupac was in prison, the album overtook Bruce Springsteen's Greatest Hits as the current best-selling album of the year in the United States. And of course, this eventually certified double platinum. At the 38th Grammy Awards, the album was nominated for Best Rap Album. And of course, Dear Mama was nominated for Best Rap Solo Performance. Album received generally acclaimed reviews by critics, being ranked among the best albums of the 1990s, ladies and gentlemen. So, oh yeah, and last thing, can't forget this 2008 National Association of Recording Merchandisers, in conjunction with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, included Me Against the World in its list of definitive 200 albums of all time. So that is Tupac, ladies and gentlemen. What more can you say? 25 years old to accomplish something like that. Gone too soon, ladies and gentlemen. Just imagine. Imagine right there.
Yeah,
Doing all of that at 25.
I definitely think he would have gone into politics had he stayed alive.
Ooh, what an interesting theory to
Politics
think of.
like a Killer Mike type politics or like
Yeah,
legit
yeah,
politics?
Killer Mike.
Okay.
I can't see him going. Running for
Not on the
Congress.
presidential level, right?
I don't think
World
he
wouldn't let
would
that
want it.
happen.
I know, I don't that, but I don't think he would have wanted to.
Nor would he have been able to really do technically because of his
Yeah,
record.
yeah. I think he would have been like a Killer Mike type, but I think he would have made a huge impact in that area too. Similar to how Nipsey was doing before he passed, like how he was trying to, you know, have create peace between gangs and stuff like that. You know, he was doing his stuff too before his passing. So I think Pac would have been on that level for sure.
100% agreed. So again, shout out to Me Against the World, one of the most known sayings that we like to use a lot to advertise. I believe that very album cover is a lot like Thriller, where you see it on many T-shirts and many merchandises all over, into this day in fashion hip hop culture. So
Ready to
shout
die as
out,
well.
Ready to Die as well.
Hmm.
It just goes to show. So that's very fitting, seeing as how, shameless plug, ladies and gentlemen. It's official that we have for the month of March, March the 26th. Mark your calendars. It's going down right here on the Fans Battle. We got our next official Fans Battle right here on OTS. We got none other than Notorious B.I.G. going one-on-one with his old friend slash beef buddy. That's right, Tupac Shakur. Ladies and gentlemen, I know, pause, that didn't sound right, but hey, blame hip hop for giving the term beef. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, it's going down. Tupac versus Biggie. It's only fitting, seeing as how both of these gentlemen have a very interesting tie to the month of March, as we just mentioned. One managed to actually pass away in this month, and yet another managed to actually set records within this month from the release of a debut album. So therefore, that should be interesting. So mark those calendars. It'll be going down 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. That's right. For all of you different time zone heads out there, you know what time zone to match that up to. Not going to go there to those specifics, but nonetheless, 8:30 Eastern time, Biggie versus Pac, March the 26th, right here on YouTube. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right on into the meat topic of discussion, because this right here was something I definitely chopped it up with the team about. They said this was going to be a phenomenal yeah, shout out to you, cousin. Talked with the team about this. They said this would be a phenomenal idea, and it just came across going when I was on my retro trip. As I told you guys earlier in the What's in My Ear segment, I took a trip to the 2010s, and I found myself listening to a lot of music from an era of hip hop that I believe we spoke about before, Mr. Derrick, on this very episode, on this very show, where we talked about that era of the 2010s in hip hop and a lot of the rise of so many talented artists. So, without further ado, this is something that I'm going to call fell off or on point, ladies and gentlemen. So, shout out to Double XL Magazine. As you all know, Double XL Magazine annually always releases a list known as the freshman class of hip hop rappers who are either on the rise, killing it on the underground scene, or, got potential to be next up. So this started for the very first time in the year of 2007, ladies and gentlemen. So this is as far back as it goes. There is nothing beyond 2007. So if you were a rapper anywhere below 2007, you are not a part of this list. Okay. Albeit if it was around then, pretty sure you would have known some notable names, 50 Cent and all those guys, Ja Rule and all of those guys and all of these guys who were killing it, post, pre 2007. Yes, there was no coincidence in naming these figures. Eminem, yet another guy, just throwing some names out there, had this been around beyond 2007. But since this is the birth of this very list to this day that is still going on, according to Wikipedia, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started. And I'm just going to name some notable names coming from 2007 on up to current day. Okay. And I want y'all to tell me fell off or on point in terms of their success level. Okay. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Let's get this. Let's get this started and open the floor for this discussion. So here we go. Double XL Magazine debuts in 2007 with their freshman list and the first ever freshman class for Double XL in 2007. Notable names coming off of this list. We have Plies, aka Kirk Franklin, as we mentioned earlier. Rich Boy, Gorilla Zoe, Lupe Fiasco, Lil Boozy, Papoose, and Young Dro. Ladies and gentlemen, off of that 2007 class, any names sound like they fell off, or are they still on point?
Rich Boy fell off. Rich Boy, who else did you say? I think Young Gorilla Zoe fell off. I feel like some people might say Young Dro fell off, but he's on point for me because he's an ATL legend, and I think that people sleep on him a lot. Mm-hmm. So I think locally, he's definitely on point, but on a grand scheme of things, maybe fell off.
Okay. How about Plies? How about Lil Boozy, Lupe?
Oh, Lupe. Lupe on point because I think even though he doesn't have commercial success, people definitely recognize that he was like the first like alternative rapper, like Kick Push. Nobody ever denies his pen or his lyrical ability, so definitely on point. Yeah. Who else? I'm sorry, I have a short-term memory.
Oh, no, we're good. You got Lil Boozy, you got Papoose.
Okay, Lil Boozy on point because he took IG Live to a whole nother level. So he's gonna stay. Majorly. So he's gonna stay relevant. He's gonna stay relevant. Plies. Same thing. I think that he definitely transitioned into the social media era very nicely. Yeah. Oh, and Papoose, like he is the image of Black love, and again, nobody denies his pen ever. So he's still on point for me.
Okay, so Derrick, you got anything to add based off of that list of names? I mean, there was a couple I didn't mention for obvious reasons, but I'll mention them anyway. There's I hope I didn't butcher this name, but Sagon, Joel Ortiz, and Crooked Eye, who I know is a West Coast guy.
I heard Joel Ortiz's name in I don't know how long. I would agree with everything Janine said. The only thing that I would add is I think that Papoose is actually highly underrated still.
Mm-hmm.
For like, and I don't. Maybe it's because it has nothing to do with talent. It has nothing to do with pen. It has nothing to do with skill. Like I don't know. Maybe it's a like a Wale type of thing. Like people just kind of like forget for some reason. Papoose
Mm-hmm.
kills it, and I actually think that social media helped him as well, um, because of the fact that he's been able to do he's been able to do a lot of stuff on social media in the last I think 2 years, where he's showcasing his talent even more with through his challenges and stuff like that. Um, I don't know. I would just say he's underrated, and I hate that he's underrated because it doesn't make any sense. He raps better than a lot of the guys out now.
Mm.
So yeah, that's probably the only thing I would even add to that. I agree with everything Gene said.
Yeah, I would say for the most part, Janine, you definitely hit that on the nail. Lupe and Papoose are probably the two most underrated lyricists from
Mm-hmm.
that class.
Hmm.
It's funny because, again, as we go further and progress through this list, it's going to tell a lot about the era of hip hop and what it was transitioning to. Because 2007, as we know, was still a year where actual pen and lyricism actually mattered.
Yeah.
So these two definitely stood out at that time because again they were true to pen to the pad lyricists that could go bar for bar, line for line,
Hmm.
and you had to be on a whole another level to try to match these brothers on any bit of what you could spit. Lil
Hmm.
Boozy is street legend, Young Dro, street legends, legends amongst the streets. So if you're talking on a mainstream status, sure, maybe they fell off to you, maybe, but locally, and I would in Boozy's case, I wouldn't even just say it's Louisiana because I know being a Tennessee native, Memphis loved them some Lil Boozy. Lil Boozy and Gucci Mane were probably the two most bumped street artists out there in general. So guys like them automatically never fell off. If anything, with Boozy, I might say maybe being incarcerated for so long, maybe might have slowed him down, maybe if that. But again, even then, people were still bumping the stuff that he had put out.
Is he
Um,
still doing music? Is he like active?
I do believe so. I've heard him do a couple of verses. I'm not sure if he's doing full on projects,
Okay.
but I know he'll still hop on somebody's feature or
Hmm.
maybe he puts out a little something here or there because we're in a generation where you don't have to really put a lot out these days. Now you
Right.
can just put a single or two. Hey, still here, still
Right.
actively
Right.
doing stuff from time to time,
Right.
and that's that. So that's the class of 2007, ladies and gentlemen. So let's take a jump forward to 2009. Now you say, well, hold up, what about 2008? Well, for whatever reason, ladies and gentlemen, they skipped the year 2008. I don't know why. Maybe in the year 2008, there was no great up and coming rappers. I don't know. I have no idea why Double XL decided not to do a 2008 list. It is what it is. Your boy graduated that year, so '08 still great. But anyway, here we
Yeah, me
go
too.
to 2009. Janine, this is your year, as we know. So,
909.
Janine, you might actually be with this class because you have a personal connection to this year. So this might be a class that you rock with. So here we go. Notable names and artists from 2009. We have Currency,
Mm.
Ace Hood,
Mm.
Kid Cudi,
Mm.
Asher Roth,
Oh wow.
B.O.B., and Wale.
That's a strong class.
That is a strong class because '09, baby. Okay.
And it's not the full class. Those are just the known
Yeah.
names. You still have Charles Hamilton, Corey Guns,
Oh,
Blue,
Corey Guns.
Mickey Fax. All of those names make this list.
Fell off. Asher Roth. Um, who was somebody else? Dang, everybody else I feel like is still on point. You said Currency
Currency, Kid
on point.
Cudi,
Ken Cudi on point.
Ace Hood.
Ace Hood. I love Ace Hood. I feel like musically, this is where I mess up because I start liking people for who they are versus like the music. I don't know if Ace Hood is really doing anything musically anymore, but something that I did see that was dope. Like he's another person that we look to as like an example of Black love. Him and his wife, I thought was really dope. She made plaques for him. It was a Christmas present, I believe, where she made plaques for him because she was like, if mainstream isn't gonna do it, I do want to celebrate you because you've been grinding on this independent level and like doing well. So yeah,
That was beautiful to see.
like it was beautiful. He cried and
Yeah.
everything. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that. Corey Guns. Do you think he fell off? Do you think? I
yeah.
mean, he's more of an underground tip. Did he fall off to you? Any?
Corey Guns was only good to me because he was on the one. Was it a Millie? Was that what he
I
was
think it
on?
was 6 foot, 7 foot.
Yeah, 6 foot, 7 foot. That's really the only reason why I know Corey Guns, to be honest, and because his father is a Rolling Stone. But other than that,
Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay, so then what about B.O.B. and Wale?
always gonna love Wale. Like Derrick said, underrated. People forget how quickly people forget. Um, but yeah, that's all I have.
No thoughts on B.O.B.? Another ATL representative.
I will not speak ill will on a fellow ATLian. So no.
Well, musically, he did fall off. Mu- Musically, he did fall off. But I think he could pick right back up if he, got out there. That's the thing. I don't think B.O.B. is done.
Mm.
You don't think so?
All right. Go ahead, Derek. I want you to go ahead with your thoughts on that list before I get on B.O.B. I want you to,
Okay. Wale underrated, but I think he's underrated. The difference between him and Papoose, he's underrated because he got in his own way. Wale allows the industry accolades to kind of hinder him from reaching that next level, and he's done that for a long time, um, which I hate because dude is talented. He's got great music. Um, his mixtapes are legendary. There's not. I mean, who else is on that list?
Okay, so for 2009, you got Wale, B.O.B., Asher Roth, Ace Hood, Currency, and Kid Cudi.
I think Kid Cudi's another person that might actually be a little underrated too. Maybe not as much. Maybe not as much, but I think he's a little underrated as well. Um, I don't really have any thoughts on other artists, to be truthful.
Okay, so solid class for sure. Um, Asher Roth, I totally agree with you, Cuzzo. Fell off. I remember I used to hear so much about that dude. I remember I used to hear how lyrical he was, how much he was either resemblant or better than Eminem at that point. I only knew the one song, which was I Love College or whatever. But even then, it was people that were literally saying lyrically the man was a beast. And I still haven't really checked him out to see or know for that matter, but it's not a name that you really hear amongst rappers, especially, white rappers for that matter. It's not really a name that you hear most of anymore. So, yeah, definitely fell off. Ace Hood, I'm gonna go and say underrated for what he has done. Whether you want to say he fell off or not, I don't even think he gets the recognition for a lot of what he put out because he put out some quite a few bangers and anthems and things of that nature. And
For
I
sure.
actually really did like Ace Hood a lot. So I don't know, Currency, it's my guy, man. I mean, that's you already know if you rocking with Wiz, you
Mhm.
rocking with Crit, you rocking with a lot of the underground people, saw how the Prince and things like that, then you know what's up with Currency. You know Currency gonna come bring you that Louisiana off top, off jump. This man's a Louisiana legend. You know what I mean? So of
For sure.
course, Currency.
What class was Wiz on?
We're getting to that,
Okay,
Cuzzo. We're gonna
I
get
could
to
have
them.
sworn
We're gonna
you
get to him. Don't
okay.
worry, we're gonna get to him.
My
Wale, like you guys, underrated in terms of when you look at the status of like a lot of who we see in this up and current era. He was one of the ones I was thinking about when I was looking at the evolution of this artist. Doesn't get as highly mentioned as the J. Cole's, doesn't get as highly mentioned as the Drakes and things of that nature coming from those classes. But we'll get there. We'll get there too. Now, B.O.B., ladies and gentlemen, this gentleman is in one of my top rappers. And he indubitably, yes, I had to pull a TI word on y'all some way. No, ladies and gentlemen, there was an ironic reason why I did that. That man is very underrated, and I'm gonna tell you why he did not fall off. He does still make music. He is very much still killing it. The reason you guys do not know it is because of the very gentleman I just pretended to mock just now with the big words and whatnot. When you are signed under Grand Hustle and you are basically kind of forefronted under the shadows, of course it looks like you fell off because, well, you're kind of suppressed. It's only so much you can really
Yeah.
do for yourself. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah. I
B.O.B.,
can't
ladies and
argue that.
gentlemen, let me tell y'all, if you don't believe me, if you didn't know what this man, I feel like he doesn't get talked about enough because, yeah, you know his mainstream stuff, but do you know what he lyrically says? Do you know his lyricism stuff? Trust me, because, yeah, on a mainstream level, it may sound like you fell off, but again, there's only so much you can do when you are suppressed by the labels that you were with. Therefore, B.O.B. to me will always be upper echelon, and that is a strong year for sure amongst hip hop. But it gets stronger from there, ladies and gentlemen, because if you thought 2009 was a fun class, wait till we get to 2010. Are you ready, ladies and gentlemen? Here we are in the year 2010. Let's go off the top. I know this makes Derrick happy. I think he knows who's in this class. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and get it started. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2010 XXL Freshman list. OJ the Juice Man,
Hey,
Freddie Gibbs,
Man.
Wiz Khalifa,
hey,
Big Sean,
Yes.
hey.
Yes.
Nipsey Hussle, and of
Woo.
course, the one, the only, Cole World himself, Jermaine Cole, ladies and gentlemen.
Man.
That's
We
That
thought that
is the
2009 was
strong
good. Jeez.
class, man. That's real
2010.
strong.
And that's not even mentioning J Rock, Fashawn, Donis, Pill. That's your whole 2010 class.
I think the only ones I would say fell off in that situation is OJ the Juice and who else? Who was the second person you said?
That might be it, honestly, because Big Sean, Wiz Khalifa, OJ the Juice
Yeah.
Man, Freddie Gibbs, Nipsey Hussle, J. Cole.
Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
go wrong with the 2010. Sorry,
That's
Juice Man.
Yeah, Juice Man kind of had his wave with Gucci, and then that just
Yeah.
he couldn't last on his own, it looked like, He had the
I
cool
don't
ad
think he really
libs.
wanted to. Because I was
Probably
listening
not.
to somebody's interview and they were saying like OJ the Juice, like, yeah, he was rapping, but he couldn't stay out the street shit either. So like I think maybe it was more like, oh, this is fun. Like I can get a couple of bags with show money, but I don't think he aspired to be like a rapper.
It's quite possible. I mean, when
Yeah.
you're under Gucci's label, let's be real. You probably are street. You know what I'm saying? So
really are.
most likely that's no surprise there. But again, what a solid 2010 class. So the only thing that could probably match a 2010 class, well, first of all,
That's the
can we
best
all just touch?
class.
Let's touch on 2010 for a second and just say how much of an honor it is to be mentioned in that class as Nipsey Hussle, given the fact that a lot of us said we didn't even know his music like that. To see that he made the 2010 freshman list, which reminds me of the fact that I knew his name. He was a name that I knew because I had seen it everywhere. I just never took the time to listen to the man's music. But I went back and I listened to some stuff. Saw he did a song with Chameleonaire and he was killing it. It's funny to hear the evolution of Nipsey's bars from a lot of the earlier stuff that he was in. It was another song with another artist I heard him with. Oh, somebody that I will reveal possibly in a fans battle with a certain co-host. But I'm not going to mention that person right now. So we'll just just keep it going. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just here to say I'm just here to say that yo, if you are from this 2010 class, I hope you show. I know you showing Nipsey some love all day, every day, just knowing that you guys are classmates from 2010. So you know J. Cole is probably super, super always holding up the memory of Nipsey Hussle. You know Big Sean's doing it, Wiz Khalifa's doing it, vice versa. You know, only person maybe not, maybe OJ Juice Man. I don't know. Like we said, he in the streets, married to the streets. I don't know. He probably doesn't care, but you know. Hey.
I would have loved to have actually heard a project with Nipsey and Cole. Like Cole was saying that they had discussed it like right before his passing. I think they had just discussed it like maybe like I want to say like maybe like a month prior to that. So they like something was about to come, you know.
Same thing with him and Big Sean, because I think about Big Sean's last album recently, Detroit 2, and how, you know, one of the singles featured Nipsey Hussle, and even at the end telling you guys before his unfortunate passing what he was in process of doing, who he was trying to work with. So man, shouts out to that 2010 class. It can only get better from there, maybe. We'll see. Ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to the class of 2011, shall we? And in this class, we have none other than, and this one's gonna surprise you when y'all hear this one. We got Saha the Prince, we got Yellow Wolf, we got Mac Miller, we got YG, we got Lil B, we got Kendrick Lamar, we got Meat Mill, we got Diggy Simmons, and we got Big Crit. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it. You heard it. Diggy Simmons. That's right. The very man that you see right on Grownish to this day. That's right. None other than Diggy Simmons is in this freshman class. So y'all keep that in mind right now as you watch him on Grownish every single year. That's a man who was featured on your 2011 freshman XXL list. And of course, like I said, my Mississippi native, my boy, none other, Mozart to the sun died, Big Crit, Crizzle himself. So 2011, man.
That's a big class.
Solidified list here. I mean, definitely gives 2010 a lot of competition, man. You know, it's right there. That's an Cuzzo, Neen, what you got to say about this 2011 class here?
Meek Mill still popping, Big Crit still popping, Sci-Hi still popping, Lil Twins, Yellow Wolf, nope. Fred the Godson. Yeah, for sure, still popping. Man. Mac Miller, still rest in peace.
Rest
YG,
in peace.
Of course.
Rest in peace to Fred the Godson too.
Yeah, rest in peace to Fred the Godson for sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
Lil B,
yeah, he fell off. Young Thugs took him.
Yeah. Kendrick, forever. Like, Kendrick. Still popping. Like, what needs to be said there? Diggy Simmons fell off musically. And I'll say because I think everybody had very high expectations. I think we all thought that he was going to be like the next Drake because his first single was very Drake-ish. You know what I mean? But
it did come off that
well.
He did, and maybe that could be why. I do agree with that because maybe that could be why we didn't really see. Because I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of rocking with Diggy a little bit. I kind of felt like
Yeah.
he had a lot of potential to go somewhere for real. He even had a song, I believe, that took off called "Great Expectations." You know what I mean? Being the son of Rev Run and all of that. You know, coming from a music legend and all of that. Of course, you know he was looked at as you know, you finna take that mantle and run with it. But I agree. You know, his early sounds do give you that Drake vibe, and maybe it just didn't live up the way it was supposed to. But like you said, he didn't exactly fall off because we see this man still very relevant
Mm-hmm.
in mainstream media. So
Yeah. Okay,
Derek,
so when we say fall off with this, are we talking about just musically or in terms or like success in general?
I guess sticking to this list, you could say musically,
Just
since
musically.
this is based off the Okay, so again, the double XL freshman list. This is basically saying artists to watch,
Hmm.
all appearing on the cover of the magazine. The list has a history of showcasing unknown slash underground rappers, as well as artists considered to be on the rise. So anyone who made this list basically is considered up next
Hmm.
or on the rise. So in Diggy's case, he was considered on the rise. He was kind of on that rise, and he fell off of that rise. Didn't fall off in his career,
Right.
but he fell off musically on that rise. Because be honest, when's the last time you listened to a Diggy Simmons song or album?
Couldn't tell you.
He had an
My
album.
point exactly. Yeah, at that time, albums were still a thing. So yes, he did have an album.
I just remember. I think he, if I'm not mistaken, I think he actually did a diss song to J. Cole around that time. Um,
Diggy did.
yeah, he because Cole addressed it on Breakfast Club. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't even think he even responded to it because it was like it's Diggy. What what am I responding
Wow.
to? So
Wow.
yeah.
The disrespect.
Well, I
Yet,
mean,
no, I mean, well,
really,
disrespect on both accounts.
like,
Disrespect on both accounts. The disrespect to come at somebody like Cole, and the disrespect to not even respond.
it's
like,
similar. It's similar to Nick Cannon dissing Eminem.
wow.
Do I really need
The
to?
point.
You know, like.
Yeah, no. When you mention it that way, brother,
Yeah.
trust me, I understand. I understand. So, relatively speaking, it's arguable 2009 to 2011 seem to be the best top-notch classes.
Yeah.
Unless we're going
Yeah,
into
2012.
let's go into 2012. Let's do that, Janine. Let's go into 2012. Let's see. You got none other than Roscoe Dash. You got Hobson. You've got Machine Gun Kelly. You've got Don Tripp. You've got Macklemore. You've got French Montana, Danny Brown, and of course, Kid Ink and Future, baby. Future. So I don't know, man. This is an interesting list because this is where music begins to slightly take its toll. But
It's actually kind of like when it started to pivot.
Mm-hmm.
it was getting there. It was getting
it
there.
started to pivot.
It's gonna get better in a worse way, but it was getting there. So 2012's class. Thoughts, please. Who fell off on this one?
Kid Ink. Macklemore, I've never been a fan of. We don't have to get too in depth. Okay. I didn't know who Danny Brown was until like last summer, to be honest. Because he has a show on Vice, and I was like, oh, this is cool. So that's when I was introduced to Danny Brown. Roscoe Dash, I don't. He's successful to me because No Hands can come on at any point in time. I'm standing up on the table. I'm turning up. Like he has anthems, So I don't. I still feel like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, there's one notable name you definitely can't deny fell off.
French.
French? Really?
Machine Gun
I think
Kelly.
French is still dope. I still think French is dope. He's gotten better lyrically too, so that's promising.
Okay. I thought you were saying he fell off. I was about to say,
No, no,
really?
no, 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 no. He didn't fall off. He
Oh, okay. Ooh.
Oh, that's what I thought too.
I was about to say,
no,
yeah.
no,
I
no,
was
no, no,
Okay.
saying,
no.
notably, we know on this list who for sure fell off.
Iggy. Yeah, she dropped off the cliff. Like,
Do you think
It's
it was her linking up with Ti that did it, or she just wasn't going to take off regardless?
both.
Okay.
because keep in mind, let's visit this class for a second. Let's look at Miss Alzaya, right? This is 2012. So by this point, there's a certain stable by the name of Young Money on the scene, mainstream wise, killing the game. And there's a certain queen of that stable by the name of Nicki Minaj. And I believe by this point, she already was on that upper echelon of a throne that was really hard to knock off if you were a female rapper.
Yeah.
This is the one that was apparently supposed to come up take that throne.
She couldn't even get into the castle.
She was supposed to take her throne.
Well, yes, you understand. Hold on.
Look how T.I.
When
was
Fancy,
pushing her.
when Fancy came out,
Yeah.
No.
it was a hit, and
It
it
was a
was being
hit.
played everywhere.
It was a hit, but I don't think it was a threat. I don't think it was a threat. It was popular. I think there's a difference between popularity with different artists or maybe different songs
Mm-hmm.
and them actually being like viewed as like next level upper echelon type of an artist.
Mm-hmm.
She was never viewed as someone that could potentially ever. I mean, like her lyrics don't even make sense. So like at least Nikki like I know Nikki kind of like lyrically was she kind of tapered a little bit, but I mean this was around Nikki's like strongest. That was like around her peak lyrically. No,
Mm-hmm.
Iggy wasn't messing with that. Nah.
Yeah. Not with some of those freestyles we saw on the
Ooh.
different social media clips, ladies and gentlemen.
Ooh.
But I digress.
T.I. was dead wrong for that.
I digress, ladies and
Oof.
gentlemen.
And how quickly like he was like boosting her up, and then as soon as she had that flop of a freestyle, he was like, "Yep, no, I have nothing to do with her. This was just
Yeah.
like he did not
Yeah,
have
he
her
was like,
back.
can
at
y'all believe
all."
this?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
man.
Like, Iggy. Only thing she was most known for after that was pretty much dating a guy named Nick Young. But hey, what do I know, ladies and gentlemen? What do I know? Now, my boy, I'd have to reach into my Memphis bag and go talk to my people from the city of Memphis to find out about this guy in terms of if he really fell off. But my boy Don Tripp is a street legend, kind of like Janine. It's a local thing, so it's one of those where I haven't heard a lot about him lately. So I have to see if he's still really doing much in the streets musically. But on an underground tip, I would definitely say he had his run. He kind of reached the mainstream a bit. I know he had a song with CeeLo on the hook, "Letter to My Son." That was probably the closest to a mainstream song he might have had. But again, lyrically, him and Starlito were known for doing a lot of dope mixtapes together around this time. So it's one of those I have to find out, dig into the bag a little bit. Now, I guess you could say the majority. This is more so the underground class in a way because Machine Gun Kelly, French Montana, Macklemore. Don't even know if he still does music, but let's just talk about the fact this man robbed Kendrick Lamar of Grammys. Speaking of Grammys, for the fact that we all know, ladies and gentlemen, and Grammys need to do it right, and they need to revise this some kind of way. Good Kid, Mad City is album of that year. Okay, it was not Macklemore. All right, and just the tale of career should clearly, obviously, give us that subject. Should it not?
Yeah.
Do you know any Macklemore albums? Because you can name about a bunch of Kendrick ones.
I don't even know any Macklemore songs. But I'll say this though,
I
like
know, what was it?
Thrift Shop.
I go thrift shopping. Yeah, whatever that song
Thrift Shop.
was.
Or in
That's
a
it.
moment, you know that in a city can't hold us.
Wait, was that
Songs
was his song?
That was his song. Yes.
Oh, okay.
That was
All
his song.
Well, like
those were the two songs that basically saved his career.
yeah, but this is why we have to stop looking at these institutions to give us these accolades. That's why I'm pissed off with Wale, because they don't get it right. A lot of times they don't get it right. That doesn't mean that you're not the better artist or you don't have superior talent. It also doesn't mean that your product wasn't the better one. It's just that you have a lot of people that don't know music that are just making these decisions. So like, it's almost like we have to create our own institution, so to speak, to give those accolades out, because there's no way Macklemore should have even been in the running next to Kendrick Lamar. There's no way.
I know, man. I totally agree. I mean, again, looking at this list in general, like Janine said, Roscoe Dash, you could argue. I mean, he's got long-lasting anthems that were, so you can't really. I guess if you want to say modern-wise, yeah, sure, he fell off, I guess. But again, with the anthems he was putting out at the time, it's not really considered a fall off. Machine Gun Kelly had his hits a few times, and he's still doing some things even to this day. My guy, who's probably the most underrated on this list, actually is doing a song right now. I found out with a popping artist of today, so this technically makes him still on point. My boy Hopsin, ladies and gentlemen. Hopsin is still lyrically destroying niggas. In many,
I did not
ways.
know who Hopsin is. I do not know. I apologize.
Hopsin,
is he a battle rapper? What does he do?
Check out Ill Mind of Hopsin. That's all I'm gonna tell you, cuz there's a whole series. There's about I think there's like 9, 10. If y'all have never, y'all see, this is why I say y'all right after this show, look up Ill Mind of Hopsin. That's all you got to do. My favorite personally, I believe, was 5. I think 5 is the one that's definitely the most kill them straight to the head, like going down every race, gender, all of that, and just destroying them in truthful ways where you're like, dang, never thought about it that way. Look up Ill Mind of Hopsin, ladies and gentlemen, and I guarantee you, when you watch all of them,
let me add it to my plan.
Yeah, watch or listen, because you can listen to them too. You don't watch them with the videos; they're more fun to watch with the videos. But if you can't watch it with the videos, just listen to them. Ill Mind of Hopsin, and I guarantee you will know that name. And then if you haven't checked out, Trouble, I believe it's called Trouble with NF. Like I said, I'm not the biggest NF fan, but if you listen to that song with Hopsin is featured on it, and boom, just goes to show, ladies and gentlemen, that man is a genius.
He has like a bunch of them. I see like 7, 8, and 9.
Yes, that's what I said. He's got a bunch. 7, that's the one. That's the one to listen to. Okay. 7's my favorite, but still listen to all of them because they're all very, very truthful. I believe 9 will hit you from a spiritual standpoint. 7 will hit you from a sociable, economic standpoint. And they all tell a different story, trust me. But ladies and gentlemen, again, 2012, I guess we could say arguably the most successful person from that class is none other than Future. Yes. Hands down, right? The most pioneered, successful person. Actually, the man from that very year who ends up changing the game, because as you can see from 2012, Future being a part of this class, this is where hip-hop takes a complete turn in terms of sound. So let's go ahead and go into 2013. Ladies and gentlemen, this is yet another good lyrical list. We've got Schoolboy Q, Trinidad James, Joey Badass, Absol, Logic, Action Bronson, Kurt Cobangs, and of course, Travis Scott, baby, Dizzy Wright, Angel Hayes, and Chief Keef. Ladies and gentlemen, based off this class, just hands off the top and just tell you the most successful person from this class is none other than Travis Scott, ladies and
Of
gentlemen.
course.
I don't think anyone can argue that.
That's clear as day.
I mean,
he's
he's got his own meal at McDonald's.
Exactly. So they definitely chose right.
Baby, pretty successful.
You were successful. You know
And
what I'm
he's
saying?
got his own line of shoes. You know, like
Come on. I mean, Double XL definitely picked that right.
Kardashian. Hey. Or I'm sorry, she's a Jenner.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna go into that one.
Yeah, I might leave that one alone.
Blink twice if you're okay.
But ladies and gentlemen, based off of this, I'm gonna be real when I say a lot of the guys on this list were one-hit wonders in a sense, from a mainstream standpoint.
Trinidad James, one-hit wonder.
Yeah, mainstream.
Kirk O'Banks, one-hit wonder.
Yeah.
Chief
Is
Keef.
it safe to say that this is when having like your niche or core audience is when we kind of got away from mainstream?
Yeah, I think so.
I would say so. I definitely would say so because this was the underground era right here for sure. Where if you had a hit, cool. If you didn't, it didn't matter because you were, this is streaming's taking its effect at this point, different things like that.
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole were killing it on a mainstream level. And as we know, once they came into the picture, they had their crews. You had your Dreamvilles, and there you go. So because that's a lot of Kendrick's artists in that list right there, ladies and gentlemen. So I mean
yeah.
That's a very interesting
shout
year.
out to school.
Uh-oh. We're losing you, cuzzo.
Yeah.
Shout out to Schoolboy Q. Uh-oh. Oh, that internet demon's trying to take over again. God dang it. Don't you hate it? We buying that demon in the name.
Somebody call Kirk.
I was about to say, get Kirk to stomp on that.
Somebody get Kirk on the line now. I rebuke you. Demon.
Rebuke you. Come on now. But so you were saying before the internet demon tried to come take you over, you were saying shout out to
right
Schoolboy
when I'm
Q.
about to have a revelation, but that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to give Schoolboy flowers because I knew that I was cutting in and out. Just wanted to make sure that I said that I loved him.
The man who also brought back fish bucket hats.
He did.
In a big way.
Yeah.
Dizzy Wright, Travis Scott, Angel Hayes, Action Bronson. Like I said, a lot of these guys were either underground or they were one-hit wonders for the most part. So that says a lot about that class. Let's go on to 2014 here. We've got none other than Isaiah Rashad, Ty Dolla $ign, Lil Durk, Kevin Gates, Troy Ave, Vic Mensa, John Connor, Lil Bibby, Jaron Benton, August Alsina, Rich Homie Quan, and of course, Chance the Rapper. So 2014. Ladies and gentlemen, what y'all got to say about that freshman class?
Nothing. Oh, no, I'm just joking.
Okay, let's just off the rip. Ty Dolla $ign
is still popping, even though he's annoying sometimes.
Yes.
Ty Dolla $ign still popping, of course.
You find him annoying.
August.
She said you find Chance annoying too.
I'm starting to get to that point.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get there.
His voice does kind of annoy me. I'm not gonna lie.
No, it's not even his voice at this point. It's really just him on social media. I think social media is starting to actually have the opposite effect on him, for him, to me, than other artists. He's just he's a little annoying.
I don't follow him on social media, so maybe that's why I can't say it for that. I'm just talking musically. He's kind of starting to annoy me. But nonetheless, okay. Rich Homie Quan, what y'all got to say about that guy? He had his time, but would you say he fell off? Is he still on? Some type of way.
I like Rich Homie. I don't know if I want to say, yeah.
I
I don't
mean,
know
he
if I want to
did.
say he fell off. Another situation like anthems, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like if his song is played in the right mix, you know, you're gonna turn up. So definitely didn't fall off necessarily.
Okay, how about our guy? Oh, wait, Derek, you got something to say? Hold on.
I was just thinking about August Alsina.
I was just about to say that. How about our guy, August Alsina,
Uh,
Mr. Entanglements himself?
uh, musically, I think he kind of fell.
I never knew
Kinda.
him to be yeah, I never knew him to be like on top for me personally. Like I knew a lot of my peers liked August, but I never
Hmm.
was a fan necessarily. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
I have to agree with you on that. I remember he had so much hype amongst people around me. Everybody
Yeah.
talked
Hmm.
about him. Everybody loved him. I didn't care for him, nor did I really know him like that or listen to him like that to really give an opinion. But
Yeah, me either.
whatever hype and buzz he had at that time, he ain't got it these days. So,
Not
and he
musically.
kind of was around during the era of one of Janine's people, Trey Songz, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that kind of maybe helped or hurted him. I don't know.
I think it may
Two
have
light
hurt him.
skinned ninjas, R&B, I
So
don't
wait,
know.
double XL, is it rappers specifically or it's just whoever is hot as an artist?
To my understanding, mostly rappers. But again, this ties into what we're getting into because we're in the year
Mhm.
2014. Music is changing at this point. It's not just
Yeah.
hip hop anymore.
That's true.
So
That's true.
let's
Yeah.
let's go on to the next year's class then, and let's talk about 2015. This is where it was very interesting. In this class, we have Fetty Wap. Whoa, oh, Dej Loaf. We got Rory. We got Kid Kid, OG Mako, Shy Glizzy, K Camp, Vince Staples, Tink, and Gold Link. I only know a couple of names off of this list.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I was about to say the same thing.
I
Janine,
love Gold Link.
never heard of them.
Maybe.
Never had a
You never
chance
heard
to.
of Gold Link? Gold Link is fire. I like Gold Link.
I'll have to. Yeah, I've never checked them out. Never knew about them. I know Shy Glizzy and Dej Low, Fetty Wap, and K Camp. That's about all I can give you.
Vince Staples. I think Vince is still. He's definitely the best of this class, in my
Really?
opinion. Yeah.
Never heard of Vince Staples. So I guess if he's
Really?
never
Did
heard of
you?
him.
Oh no, Vince Staples. Oh my gosh, I don't know
Yeah.
why I was thinking of Vic Mensa. That
Vic
was on
Mensa.
last year's,
That's
and I was
what.
like, I can't tell you a Vic Mensa song, but
When
I
Vic
love
fell
Vince
off hard.
Staples.
Vic fell off hard. Nah, I meant to say
It
that
was when
last
he
one.
started wearing like the whole vampire boots. I think that's when things went left for him. But
Yeah, cut the locks.
Wow.
yeah, I
Okay.
don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Interesting.
Vampire boots. Um, yeah, Vince Staples is
Tell me
easily.
that they're not vampire boots. Go ahead. No.
You think Vince? So you really think Vince Staples, this guy, is the most successful of this class?
No, I said I think he's the best. Well, Loaf lyrically
Mhm.
is really good too. So they're to me they're I would say they're tied. Lyrically, they're tied.
Okay. So the
Yeah.
best lyricist of that one. But in terms of overall success, because
Overall
I'm willing to
success
say
on a mainstream level,
I'm willing to say it's either Fetty or K Camp.
I'm not gonna lie, I never heard K Camp. So
A lot of people were really into K Camp. K Camp and Party Next Door. They I think they
Party Next
came
Door, I heard. Yeah, I've heard his
K
stuff.
Love
K
Party.
K Camp. I think
Yeah.
they're from that same. There's a lot of music K Camp put out. Y'all probably just didn't realize because they
Just didn't know
sounded
something.
like Party Next Door, and you probably thought it was a Party Next Door song. When in actuality, it was K Camp. I believe K Camp did a lot of stuff with Drake and some other
Hmm.
people. So you guys probably know K Camp, believe it or not. I think they even still to this day make a lot of stuff. So K Camp, to me, probably the more successful of this class. Quite, yeah, Fetty Wap he had a run, but I haven't heard much of him lately. So he had his run, and his time, but
Yeah.
that's about it for 2015. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we get closer to 2020, I'm just here to let you know it's only going to go downhill from here in terms of names that we know, but we're going to keep going anyway. So, 2016, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Lil Uzi Vert, the guy with the diamond in his forehead. Lil Yachty, the guy with the red braids. Kodak Black, the guy who finally just got free. Denzel Curry, ha ha ha. G Herbo, Dave East, the guy with my last name, Lil Dicky, Anderson .Paak, Designer, and of course 21 Savage.
This is not
Okay,
a bad list,
This
actually.
is actually not
it's
at
really
all.
This
not.
isn't bad.
It's not. 2016 is not that bad. Okay,
Is this the last really good one?
probably yes, probably
Because
because
Lil
after
Dicky was
this,
really good.
Probably.
after this, it's gonna be like I don't know who these people are, and we
Yeah.
either too old to know or we just don't care to know. All right, so here we go. 2016 again. Lil Uzi
Both,
Vert is pretty apparent. Lil Uzi Vert, Lil Yachty, and Kodak. I guess Kodak. I don't know. I'm assuming those guys are obviously still pretty relevant of today, so they're still successful. My boy
Anderson
Denzel
.Paak.
Anderson .Paak for sure.
Oh
I
my
mean him
God.
and Bruno just
I'm
formed.
looking-
Oh, it's a
number one.
I'm
wrap.
looking forward to that album, man.
Yeah, Anderson .Paak's number one. Bump that. He's number one on this list right here. Designer, well, we know what killed his career. He signs too much like Future. So obviously, we know what happened to that guy. 21 Savage is still pretty successful, I'd say. Wouldn't you?
Mhm.
Most definitely.
Clear as day.
For sure.
Lil Dicky, musically, I guess you could say fell off, but he's still successful because
Yeah,
he
I
has a
don't-
show.
Yeah.
So
Did he really click mainstream wise musically? I don't feel like he did.
if
I
he
think-
didn't, he sure had a big fan base because I know there
He
was a lot of
did.
people into his music.
Yeah, he had a big fan base, but I think that the thing was I more so like I would hear him more on like radio interviews, stuff like that, and I would hear his freestyles and like really good. But I can't. Do you know a Lil Dicky song?
There was a song he did with Trinidad
Freaky
James.
Friday.
Trinidad James.
Yeah, but that's Chris
Oh,
Brown's song. That's a Chris Brown
He's
song.
on that song? Wow, I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah,
I
which-
never heard Freaky Friday.
That
until
actually made me a little
you know.
nervous. That made that's not Chris Brown's song? I
No,
thought
that's a Chris Brown song. It's Chris Brown's.
that song made me nervous.
Or no, I think it is Lil Dicky's.
No,
it
that
is Lil
Dicky's
Dicky's.
song.
That's
Is
Lil
it?
Dicky's song. Yeah, it sure is.
We should-
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was Chris Brown.
So
It's a Lil
Freaky
Dicky
Friday.
song.
Wow.
Go figure.
Hey, okay.
But because Chris Brown's on it, of course, it's Chris Brown's, but it's technically
Yeah.
Lil Dicky.
Lil Dicky's.
Yeah.
Um,
That song makes me nervous because the music video,
Lil Dicky.
a little white man saying nigga, 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 like that whole part of that song made me nervous. But
The only song I know from him is a song that him, Trinidad James, and Mystical did, and it is very, very explicit. She got a big hole.
I'm sure.
Yeah, very, very freaky and explicit, if I do say so
I'm
myself.
sure.
Shout out to Mystical though, former
Yes,
guest
sir.
on the show, ladies and gentlemen. My boy Denzel Curry though, yeah, I know about him. He's a very great, underrated underground
Yeah.
artist for sure. Love his energy. Dave East, another very great underground artist, as we know. I mean, still making music to this day. So,
Still.
2016, probably the last greatest list in
Oh,
the
Lord.
double XL. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and just run through 2017, 18, 19, and 20, because most likely there's only a few names, if any, that you're going to recognize. I know we won't. But hey, let's get it. 2017, Kamaya, A Boogie with the Hoodie, PNB Rock, Playboy Cardi, Aminé,
Oh, Amina.
Cap G, Kyle,
Yeah.
Ugly God, Made in TYO, and of course, rest in peace, XXX Tenacion.
A Boogie with a Hoodie, I would say, is still popping. I think
Um,
Playboy Cardi for some people.
Yeah, for some people he is still. I mean, apparently there was just a meme I saw with him and freaking Megan the Stallion. Apparently they're beefing or something. I guess I don't know. So yeah, Playboy Cardi's still a thing. He's killing it. Uh,
Amine.
B&B Rock. I know
Yeah.
about him because of my boy Joey, who produces a lot of my stuff. He's produced some stuff for this guy. I didn't even
Nice.
realize he was in this list. So apparently, shout out to B&B Rock. He's still making music for sure. I can tell you guys that. My boy personally produces for him. So there's that. Uh Amine
Yeah,
Derrick, you
no,
gave a nice reaction to him.
he's really good.
Would you consider him on point or fell off though?
On point 'cause I think he just dropped like if I'm not mistaken, it was like his first or second album like last year. Like he's yeah, I think he's to me he's just really new. I just kind of like learned about him last year, but
Okay.
yeah,
Fair enough. Well,
yeah,
he is from the 2017 class, so that makes sense.
yeah,
I will say, to be honest, if I'm being truthful about this class, the most successful individual in this class is Triple X,
yeah,
Has
and
he
his
been successful?
untimely death is the reason for that because apparently
Mhm.
influenced today's generation the way Pac has influenced us in other ways. It's not a lie, people. This man has really impacted today's generation, even with his untimely death. He may not have had the success as Pac, but in terms of whatever it is, and it's because, again, this is an age where these rappers take these pills, they say a lot of depressing things. It's a depressing generation. They're in the fields a lot. If you listen to Triple X's music, a
yeah,
lot of in the fields.
yeah.
And therefore, because of that, he's definitely the most successful artist of today for that current crop of
But
current generational talent.
you think his impact is just as big as Tupac's for this generation? You think it's just it matches that?
It seems that way. Based off of his death, it definitely
Oh,
seems that
maybe
way.
for the younger
For
generation,
the younger,
maybe.
that's what I said, for the
Yeah, well,
younger
that's what I'm
generation.
asking.
Not
Like
ours.
for
Not
them,
ours.
yeah,
But
not at
for
all.
today, anybody under the age of 18, definitely that's their version of a Tupac. You
You
know,
feel
like,
like even under the age of 18, that was more impactful than Nipsey's death?
yeah, even more impactful than Nipsey's, believe it or not.
Mm.
Nipsey's is probably, yeah. For us, I can't speak for today's generation on Nipsey, but I know for us that definitely impacted us for sure because it was one of those things where even though we didn't know his music, we knew of him in some type of way, shape, and form to where we then did our research on him even more and we just began to love him even more as a person and as an artist. But
Dude, I cried
Triple
when that
X,
happened.
yeah, like Triple X though, again, it's something about, again, today's generation literally has a grasp on him because of what he rapped about. This is all facts. I've literally heard this from actual people of this generation that have said Triple X is, he just hits different for them. And you probably would have to go and listen to some of his music. If you don't really know it that well, you probably have to go listen to it to really try to understand it. All I can tell you is a lot of his stuff is not really the most uplifting type of stuff, but it's that from the heart in the feels heartbreak type of music. So makes sense, ironically. But
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, I know. It's one of those things. But let's go ahead and go into 2018 on that note, because again, this is where these artists continue to go down from here to a degree. But I guess you could still argue about success levels. So who are we to really say? Ladies and gentlemen, 2018. Oh boy, these names. Ski Mask, the Slump God. Lil
I
Pump.
have nothing to say.
Lil Pump. Smoke Perp. Jid, our boy
yes,
Jid,
yes.
or Jid. I said it right.
Jid.
Jid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Steflon Don, Block Boy JB, YABN Namir, Wife Fi's Funeral, I guess that's supposed to say, and Trippy Red. I'm sorry, but Jid's the only one I can say.
Jid, honestly, I don't have
And
to listen to these
Steflon Don.
You think so, Steflon Don? I've never heard of him, but if he stands out to the queen, there you go. That's Trippy Red I know of, but I'm pretty sure he fell off because he was in that mainstream level with. This is with the Takashis, Lil Pump. This is where I really said, okay, hip hop, you lost me. I'm done. This red hair, these tattoos, these nose. Well, okay, tattoos isn't really that bad, but just
He looked
the dresses, just all this weird stuff that was going on with these folk. Yeah. At this point, it was like, all right, hold up, no, you lost me. But hey, is what it is. And to the Christians out there, these were the demonic rappers at this point, the rappers that were openly saying they were devil worshippers and or whatever's, that kind of stuff. So yeah, it is what it is with this class. But yeah, 2018. Y'all got any other thoughts on it?
No, but I will say I find it interesting, and maybe you can pinpoint when this narrative in rap kind of phased out.
Mm-hmm.
But when did the Illuminati stop being a part of the reason why someone blew up?
No, that's still people still think that.
I think
People
they
still
still
saying that?
think that to this day.
I don't hear that. I've always thought it was hilarious, but that was always like a major thing that was said.
It really came out to the forefront about 2009, 2010-ish.
Right.
And it's been a thing since.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about the Illuminati.
I think why you don't feel like it's real anymore. Oh,
go ahead, Queen.
Go ahead, Derrick.
Oh, I wasn't talking. No, you're good. I was listening.
She was saying you think he feels like it's not real.
More.
Say that one more time. You kind
There's that internet demon.
Yeah. The Illuminati.
Yeah, the Illuminati. They don't want you to speak your piece, Queen Janine. They don't want you to speak your piece. Speak your piece, girl.
Goodness. I was just gonna say, I think maybe the reason why Derrick doesn't feel like it's a thing anymore because for a long time no one even really knew about the Illuminati. So when it started to be exposed, it was like, oh, like this totally. I think that the rappers started to embrace it almost like a joke. So now you can't say it anymore. Like it's not gonna break me now because I'm just embracing it. Like, yeah, of course
So you think it's almost like the 8 Mile thing, where they're embracing that, and it's just not as a prevalent argument anymore. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a fair assessment. I didn't think about it like that. But I just thought it was very interesting because you would hear about the Illuminati like up until I feel like I heard about Illuminati like being a prevalent argument up until about like 14, 15. And then after that is when I kind of stopped hearing about people talking about it as much. And especially now, I really don't hear that in terms of the success of these guys or not. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, if the Illuminati was responsible for some of these people's success, I have to question a lot because what's the criteria?
Yeah, I agree. What is the criteria?
No,
what
like,
do you do? Based off these people.
But, yeah, especially for this class. Like, Lil Pump? Come on, man. Do you know a Lil Pump song?
Gucci Gang. That's it. And it's just because I freestyled to it.
Okay, all
Good
right,
name.
all
Good
right.
name.
Yeah, that's it. That's the only reason why I know the song.
That's it.
I looked up the beat. I knew the song because everybody was singing it. I was like, "What's this beat?" And then I'm like, "Who
Yeah.
sings?" Oh, Lil Pump. Okay,
Okay,
I'm gonna
all
kill it
right,
anyway, so nobody remembers him. But hey, it's okay.
all right.
And there you go. So yeah.
I respect it.
uh, but yeah, what a interesting list there. So shout out to Jid because
Yeah, man.
we know he's still
Oh,
definitely
he's
successful in doing his thing. So
killing it too.
shout out to 2019. Let's go ahead and get into this class. These names, man. Come the Zine, Tierra Whack, Da Baby, Lil Mosey, Roddy Rich, Corday, YK Osiris, Rico Nasty, Gunna, Blueface, and of course, Megan the Stallion. So
This is a good class.
yeah, it's pretty apparent with this one. I mean, we're within the last couple of years, so this is obviously one of those things
Right.
where we say, okay, we know who's successful from these classes. Clearly, Megan the Stallion still
Yeah.
killing it. The hottest female rapper in the game right now, right? Obviously. Arguably, probably the one who just might, depending on how far she can keep this up, just might be able to match up with
Yeah.
Nicki. Maybe not top her,
I
but
don't
match
know.
up with her. It
I don't
depends on
know.
how her career does in the next
I don't
5
know.
years.
I don't know.
Got to give her
The
5
album-
years. She's got a 5-year window from now.
I don't know because if you listen to this album, the album that she put out, lyrically it had like it didn't match any of the freestyles that I've heard from her. Her freestyles, like lyrically, were like stupid crazy, and but the album didn't match that. So if she, in my opinion, if she can't match that freestyle energy, and be the lyrical beast we know she is, I don't think she can. I don't think she can match that.
But see, here's where you're wrong, sir. It's all about what have you done for me lately and what songs the people know. And the people are definitely knowing these Megan Thee Stallion songs right now.
Well, see,
So that when if this holds up the next 5 years, hit for hit, she can match Nicki.
What's the
She may not have the
criteria?
pop status
What's the criteria then? Because like
in a
and that's-
versus
I was-
battle.
see,
Hits
this was
mostly.
okay.
Now there may be those underground songs or those songs in between. Features. She's been in a lot of features.
Yeah, but so
Been in a lot of
like
feature stuff.
when we're talking about someone taking Nicki down,
Not necessarily
is
taking her
lyric-
down, just being a good matchup for her.
Okay, well,
Out
I
of all
think if you have to be a
females.
match, you have to be like a lyricist. Like early Nicki was a lyricist, right? Now the last couple of years she's kind of like tapered slightly, but I mean, think about the battles that she's been in. Like this thing with Remy Ma. Remy Ma is a lyricist, right? That like she took Nicki out, right? Has anyone else done that? So are we talking about lyricism when we're talking about versus Nicki, or are we talking about success, like commercial success?
Well, true, but y'all did listen to that recent Megan Thee Stallion album, right? So
Yeah.
didn't she kind of take someone down in her own right?
Who? Who?
A man that apparently the rest of the world is canceled off the face of the earth.
Oh, I don't think you. I think she just. I think she got her. She got her shots. That I will say her that first track she got her shots on Tory, but I don't even think that was even. I'm talking about the project, the album as a project itself. Like, I was disappointed because I know what she
And that's not
lyrically is.
fair for a takedown either. Yeah, and I feel like, okay, yeah, she took shots, but like it's an obvious takedown. Okay,
Yeah,
he shot me. Like, okay, like
Yeah.
what else are we to say to that? But to go toe to toe with Nicki, I don't know if if it would be the same playing field. No shade to Meg, because like Derrick said, like her freestyle, her bars is ridiculous, but she's not showing us that, because what the people want are the hot girl summer anthems.
Right. Much like what
I just
Cardi
don't
was
know
talking
how
about.
many hot girl summer anthems I'm gonna be able to listen.
Yeah. That's like what Cardi was talking about. Like she was like, you know, people don't want lyrics. They don't want lyricism. So I'm just give them these, you know, these party songs and let them rock with
Mhm.
that. I don't even know if Cardi like has
Mhm.
lyrics like that. I don't know if she has bars. She has a commercial success though. So that's what I'm asking. Like when we're talking about the comparisons, where does that go in terms of actually matching Nicki? Because you can match Nicki commercially, or you can match her lyrically. But as a female rapper, I don't think you can combine both in this day and age. I don't think you can, because women have the ability to lyrically be better than a lot of people out here, but the industry will not allow you to have that much success unless you're talking about your body, and you know it's not lyrically sound.
And that's why I say in the next 5 years, let's see, because she's still on top of her game,
Oh yeah.
still killing it. On top of that, a lot of the women are up next. I've listened to a lot of underground people in the scene, and I know a lot of industry execs who are really praising the women who are coming up in general.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you know them or don't know them, just women in general, saying
Mm-hmm.
the next wave for mainstream in general, you will hear nothing but women artists everywhere. Like guys won't even really be on these waves like that. It's gonna be woman artists after woman artists after woman artists. So
Look
just
forward to it.
know the wave is coming, and give it 5 years, because if she's able to stand the test of that wave of all these female talents that are gonna come up, then we'll see if she's the one that at some point can match up with Nicki, depending on what you want to say. But
I'm looking forward to it.
the most notable thing, oh well, let's talk about the other individual on this list that's clearly the most successful and clearly probably arguably the best person from this list, and the baby.
Mm.
Hard to argue it, regardless of how you feel about his projects, regardless of how you feel about his flow being repetitive in some senses, dynamic wise and style wise. Regardless of how you break it down, at the end of the day, this man is clearly the most notable lyrical person of today in a mainstream sense, I guess. However you want to look at it. It's the baby.
Corday is very lyrical. I don't know that I can consider the baby lyrical.
Corday is dope.
I've never heard of Corday.
Corday is
YB
phenomenal.
and Corday is good. You need to listen to his last album.
Phenomenal. Phenomenal. The baby is the baby.
What can you say?
What can you say? Then you got Rico Nasty. YK Osiris fell off. I know that much. Roddy Ricch is still doing his thing.
With this being a 2019 list, like, has it been enough to really determine whether or not you've fallen
That's a
off?
good question.
It's a good question, but I could say with YK Osiris, he definitely kind of fell off, because some of these guys made this list when they blew up before this list. That's also something to take in account, because when they make these lists, a lot of times people are already popping before the list comes out.
Right.
With this list, for example, the baby kind of already had some commercial success before this list was actually out. As did Megan, I believe, and Blueface, possibly Roddy Ricch. Yeah,
Roddy Ricch, yeah. Because he worked
now
with
he's a guy. He's a guy that definitely is well on his way, because he's still very, very young. Roddy Ricch is the guy that a lot of people praise as being the new Drake at some point, eventually, at some point. But we'll see. Now, I will say 2019's list. I That's just what I'm telling you what I've heard from the streets, my brother. I'm just telling you what the streets have said. Okay. Don't take it to me, take it to the streets. Okay. The streets say it's Roddy Ricch. Trust me, because of what this man can really do. He actually is playing a lot of things that he's the definition of an actual artist. So again, it's just what the streets are saying, not me.
All right.
I respect Roddy. I like Roddy's sound. We'll see what happens. Uh, One thing I will say again on this 2019 list before we end it with 2020, 2019, I do remember they had a cipher, and generally every list, every class has a cipher. So maybe another day, maybe on a plugged in or something, we can play each playlist each year in classes ciphers, and we can determine who probably had the best cipher. That should be interesting from 2009 to 2012. That should be very interesting. See who won in that battle. But in terms of 2019, I would say I remember people talked about their cipher because of Megan Thee Stallion and the Baby, and I think Corday and possibly I want to say it was Rico Nasty, maybe. I think it was more so the Baby, Corday, and Megan Thee Stallion. I think they were the most shining points of that entire cipher. But that's about it. So 2020, ladies and gentlemen. Now this is a list that's interesting because it's just last year. It's what you would call the pandemic freshman list for that matter. So in terms of success levels, it's up to you to determine. Again, we got a long way to go. Music is going to be changing a lot going forward from this point. So it will be interesting to see how things go from here with this class. But still, nonetheless, the notable names from this class, you have Polo G, Chica, NLE Chopper, Jack Harlow, Lil Keed, Lil TJ, Fivo Foreign, Cowboy, Rod Wave, Baby Keem, 24K Golden, and Mulatto. Atlanta's own Mulatto.
Okay, Mulatto. This is a decent list.
Chica.
Yeah.
Mulatto, Fabio, Chica.
Chica is.
Jack Harlow, I hear is great.
Yeah.
My boy NLE Chopper, man, he killing it. I gotta go for my Memphis man. You know what I'm saying? My boy
he's
killing
good
it.
too.
He's killing it. So 2020, again, I know we have our thoughts. Again, we just took this thing from 2007 up to 2020. So for our generation right here, amongst these three right here in the room, these recent lists may not necessarily be lists that we pick as our number ones classes, but we still respect them enough to know they're out here doing their thing. And so I have to ask.
I'm looking forward to hearing some more from her. She is. Oof.
Yeah.
Chica is amazing.
Yes, she is.
She's amazing.
Rod Wave, I tell you, he's a guy a lot of generation of today is high on.
Yeah, he's good.
I believe he had an album that's getting ready to come out, so I'm very interested. I'm gonna have to check him out a little more, see what I think about him, because I've heard his name buzzed around a lot. So Rod Wave is a guy, should be interesting to see. Jack Harlow is giving me Asher Roth vibes. I'm not gonna lie. We will see. We will see. We will see. Can he top what's popping? Let's find out. We will see. Time will tell. It's still early for him, but time. Jack Harlow, you are on the clock, sir. Let's see what happens.
You're on the clock.
From here on out. So real quick, as we wrap this thing up, man, I just need to know, y'all, what is y'all personal favorite class out of these? Oh, well, before I say that, you guys might notice that there was a certain rapper that wasn't mentioned on any of these lists. A rapper who is considerably already on legendary status, a man who's still, anytime he drops something, actually just dropped, I believe, a 3-song EP not that long ago. A certain gentleman, light skinned, killing the game at 34 years old and still like that. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't figured it out by now, yes, I'm talking about the one and the only Mr. Drizzy Drake. Why hasn't he made a freshman list, you say? I can answer that. Basically, His official debut into the rap game was 2006. However, technically he was still in his Degrassi days at that time, so he didn't really become official until he left Degrassi in 2008. As you know, by then partnered up Lil Wayne in this thing called Young Money, and yeah, they catapulted. Also, who was not notably on this list is also someone from that very Young Money tree by the name of Nicki Minaj, who we just talked about. So I find those two names to be the most intriguing of the fact that over these years, neither one of those two made any of these lists when they easily could have made this because yes, freshman double XL doesn't go past 2007. However, they didn't really start hitting the scene until about 2008, 2009. So you easily could have inserted them in one of these classes, right? Sure, you could have. But unfortunately, I guess for whatever reason, they did not qualify. I guess the criteria for that, maybe if it's anything like Rapzilla, I guess the criteria is if you've already had albums or something, you don't qualify for. I don't know. I don't know what their criteria is, but still, we already don't have to worry about none of their success. We know what they did. Maybe it's just they were so great they didn't need to make a double XL freshman list, people, because they were teamed up with Lil Wayne, who we already know was the man amongst men. But one will say, if they had started this double XL freshman list years ago before 2007, undeniably Nicki Minaj, Drake, and depending on how far back you want to go, if you want to go to 1990, if you want to go to 2000, you could throw your 50 cents. You could throw your M&Ms. You could throw whoever you want to throw, depending on what years before 2007. There was a lot of people.
Truth be told, I didn't even know that it started in 07. I thought it started a lot earlier than that.
As did I. But apparently, now we know Wikipedia isn't necessarily the most notable source, but trust me when I say trust me, if it was anything before 2007, I guarantee you it would have been noted. This list literally starts from 2007 on up to forward present day. So again, there were so many artists who had, whether they were one-hit wonders, whether they were artists who put out a bevy of albums and hits, or they had a nice run for a couple of years. There's a lot of artists we can name, but like I said, most notably, when you look at the evolution, the fact that Drake and Nicki Minaj have had the careers that they have had without having to make a freshman list in their entire career signifies that when you were partnered up with Lil Wayne, chances are, who needs a freshman list, baby? We got the ultimate cosign,
Do you think that the making that list is necessary for your career?
Not now.
Yes and no, depending on how you want to break it. If you want to break it in terms of will this catapult you to creating hits? No. Don't need this list for that. Because some do get the hits from it. As we see, there were a lot of names in some of these classes that we didn't know from a mainstream standpoint, but they still made the list.
Yeah.
To me, what's cool about this list is it gives you an insight of, we're always saying, yo, let me hear some new music. I want to check out some people. Heck, y'all just gave me some people to check out that I didn't know from any of these lists. Right? I just gave y'all some people to go check out that y'all didn't know from these lists. Therefore, you can appreciate these freshman lists because of the fact that if it's someone you don't know, you can give them a chance, which I think is golden, especially coming as a person who is an underground artist. I get it. It's cool when you make a list like that. You don't need it because there are people who have been successful without it. But when you're on it, all eyes suddenly go to you because they're going to want to know who you are. And then because they do a cipher on the process with each class, you're going to see the person kill the cipher and you're going to say, man, now I really want to know who you are because you just killed this cipher. So you're going to go look up their stuff. Next thing you know, you actually just helped them blow up even more. So there's a cause and effect to it. You know, it's not needed because you can be successful without it, but it is needed because again, it puts an eye to a wider audience of people who may not know who you are. But because of that list, now they want to know you.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with it.
With it. So
Thank you.
going back to that question before we completely wrap this up, guys. Which list or which class is your favorite personal class based off all of these we just broke down through?
Short-term memory loss, so I don't remember exactly, but I feel like 2009 through 2011 was a pretty decent run.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to
Okay.
10.
So then if you had to choose between 2009 and 2011.
Could you give me the 2010 list again, please?
J. Cole, Pill,
Phony.
Nipsey Hussle, Freddie Gibbs, Big Sean, Wiz Khalifa, OJ the Juice Man, J Rock, Fashawn, and Donis.
All right, and who was in 2009?
Wale, B.O.B., Charles Hamilton, Asher Roth, Corey Guns, Blue, Mickey Fax, Ace Hood, Currency, and Kid Cudi.
2010 me.
Interesting. Sorry guys, I'm going 2011.
Who's in 2011?
Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah,
It ain't because of Kendrick. It is not because of Kendrick. And you know it's not because of Kendrick, buddy.
I know.
He knows it ain't because of
Big
Kendrick.
Crit. I get it.
Because of my boy Crizzle, baby. But nonetheless, no, but still, the fact that, you know, Kendrick happens to be the rival of Cole and he's in this class with my boy, then of course, I'm going to go with this list. 2011, Meek Mill, Big Crit, Saha the Prince, Lil Twist, Yellow Wolf, Fred the Godson, Mac Miller, YG, Lil B, Kendrick Lamar, and of course, our favorite rapper of them all, Diggy Simmons. Ladies and gentlemen. I love how I set that up, right?
I think because I completely forgot he was in that class. I think Diggy actually kind of messes that class up, to be completely honest.
Oh, don't go there, dog. It's too elite for it to mess it up, dog. So you gonna tell me Diggy messes up that list when y'all got OJ the Juice Man?
OJ the Juice Man go hard.
I mean,
okay. Half a brick, whole brick. Hey?
Okay, yes, he goes hard when he's with Gucci. What has he done on his own?
I'll just listen to him with Gucci. That's it.
Exactly. If it was not for Gucci, you would not know who this man is.
No, I'm good with it.
No.
You also listen to Yellow Wolf. Like, if somebody played Yellow Wolf today, would you like skip it or would you vibe?
Yellow Wolf. Bruh, Yellow Wolf. You know, yeah, man. Yellow Wolf is a beast, bro. Again, it's tough. When you a white rapper, no, he's from. I gotta see where he's from. Actually, no, he's too country to be from Memphis now. No, like he's definitely too country. Like his is more. He's like a. No. Hear me out, fam. Because I'm saying he's more of a. I get an Alabama, Mississippi, Texas type of vibe from him. You know what I mean? Like one of them type of countries.
Never listened to his music. I'm sorry. I have no opinion.
Man, listen. Check him out. You'll get an opinion. That guy right there, Yellow Wolf. The man did a song with Twista and Busta Rhymes and kept up with both of them. How many rappers you know can do that?
Impressive. That's very impressive. That's very impressive.
With Lil Jon on the hook. What's up? You know what I mean?
Oh, that sounds like a banger.
It is. And you probably heard it before because it was on a 2K at that.
Was it?
Oh, yes.
That had
I
to
believe
be
that was
2K.
13 or 14. It was 13 or 14.
14?
It was one of them two. Had to be one of those two. But yeah, I mean, in respect, 2010, 2011 rival each other nice and smoothly. You know what I'm saying?
Those are good competitions.
And you got 2009 for the honorable mention for sure. But I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, because underground wise, 2013. Depending on how you like your underground artists, y'all, 2013 is definitely one of them ones you can kind of, sprinkle on in there, maybe. It just depends on how you like your underground artists. But ladies and gentlemen, I mean, that being said, we've given our thoughts, our views on what we think about XXL's freshman list, which has told us and taught us so much about the direction of hip hop and how it has changed from 2007 to present day. B, how many artists have fell off, are still on point, and who's the future. And we will see going forth how the rest of these lists will go. If there will be a 2021 list, we don't know. Don't know why there wasn't a 2008 list. Still don't understand that one yet, people. That's the one. You know what? I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen. Since Drake and Nicki, since they didn't do a 2008 list, Drake and Nicki are officially on the 2008 list. That's the list they own. You know what I'm saying? Because why not?
And I'm still choosing a 10.
Hey man, listen, I gotta research who was popping in 2008 so I can try to come up with a list. All I know is I know Drake and Nicki should definitely be on somebody's year's list.
Should.
And since 2008 didn't get one, that's the list they deserve to be on. Because for whatever reason, I don't know why you didn't make one in 2008. That's the year they definitely would have made it. I'm pretty sure of it.
Oh yeah.
But ladies and gentlemen, it was fun. I shout out to my fellow. My also lovely co-host, and of course, the man with the plan, the hardest working man in show business, Mr. Derrick himself. But ladies and gentlemen, as you know, all good things come to an end per usual. So it's about that time we wrap things on up. So y'all make sure y'all let us know what y'all think about who makes the best freshman hip-hop list for XXL. Most importantly, we want to say thank you so much for always rocking with us. I want to shout y'all out for all the people who are listening to us across the world. Not just the United States of America, but we're getting more support from the people in Florida than our own state of Georgia. And Georgia is supporting us really hard, y'all. So that's the crazy part. Shout out to our people in Florida who are really rocking with us pretty hard. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the fact that y'all are beating Georgia really got me out here surprised. Like, wow. Our listenership is booming out in Florida.
Especially when I talk about how bad Florida is with COVID stuff, you know?
Yes, but he don't mean that. He means it, but he don't mean it right now because y'all rocking with us, and I know he appreciates that listenership. So, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to everybody in Florida, Miami, West Palm Beach, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to all of y'all. Fort Lauderdale, Jacksonville, make some noise. Come on now, you already know Panama City, baby. Y'all already know what it is. We thank y'all. We love y'all. Make sure you follow us at PTAOTS. You know what I'm saying, on Instagram. Make sure you check out Plugged In right here on YouTube. Independent artists. If you want to submit some music, you already know. Send it over to PTAmusic@otsguys.com. That's PTAmusic@otsguys.com. Again, remember we got a fans battle coming on March the 26th. That's right, you know what it is. Tupac representing the West Coast. Biggie representing the East Coast. The East Coast, West Coast rivalry is back one more again, ladies and gentlemen. It will come back for one night only, where the West and the East clash in beef. You already know what time it is, so I know I just did it again, but ladies and gentlemen, we thank you again for joining us. And I'm Dwayne. That's Janine. This is Derrick. You already know. Follow all things at OTS Guys. Follow Janine at Nina NIISOL. Well, I spelled that totally wrong. NIINASOL. You know to follow Derrick at Derrick_OTS and follow the OTS Guys page at OTS Guys on Instagram and Twitter. Check out the website, www.otsguys.com. But anyway, this is the longest outro ever. I'm sorry, people. Y'all know how it is. We just had some fun. Thank you for rocking with us as always. We love y'all. And until next time, peace.